Yes. Hello there and welcome to Lorene's Bits and Pieces. I'm Lorene, and on my channel today we are doing a favorite childhood recipe of mine. It's from this incredible book here, the Edmonds Cookery book. My New Zealand friends and followers and family will recognize this oh so well. It has been very, very well used. It's got splatters all over it. It is one of my favorite books to go to whenever I am wanting some inspiration. This is a book that I grew up with. My mum's got one. I think just about every single person in my family has one. This one the edition was revised back in, let's see, in 1996. It was the 40th edition of it. It was first released back in 1955. Isn't that amazing? So when I was just tuning into what would we like to play with next, a childhood recipe came to mind. So what we're going to be playing with today is something called Sweetcorn Fritters. And just to be a little bit daring, we're going to do two recipes. These recipes, as you can see here, are one after the other. There's a recipe for just the plain sweetcorn fritters, which we'll do first. It's a very quick and easy recipe. And then the second one is the vegetable fritters, which is a little bit more ingredients in it, but you can have a bit more variety. I will be honest, we did a little taste test yesterday and the veggie ones are absolutely scrummy. They disappeared very, very fast with our friends. So without further ado, let's get cooking. First of all, we need 3/4 of a cup of plain flour that we sift, along with the baking powder, salt and pepper. Baking powder, 1 teaspoon. Black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. It now says to add 1 egg, but what I'm actually going to do is not just add the egg. I'm going to pop it in there and I'm going to whisk it up a little bit. It's a little trick that I learned a long time ago. Get a bit of air into it and make it fluff up a little bit. And this helps with the rising of the mixture. You only need to whisk it up for, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. See, nice and fluffy now. And now I'm going to mix that in to our mixture. As well as our creamed corn. So just some creamed corn, not corn kernels, creamed corn, very important. Now what we'll do is we'll very gently fold it all in together so that we don't break up those bubbles too much. Now we'll take this mixture here over to the stovetop, and over there we've got a pan that's heated up with some butter in it, and we will be popping spoonfuls of this mixture into the pan to cook. these fritters will just cook away very, very nicely. Once they are browned, I will put them onto a pre-prepared plate. Here we go. For them to drain a little bit. What oil you would like to use, that's totally up to you. This is more of a fried type fritter rather than a dry pan type thing. I prefer to use butter. I love the saltiness of the butter on the fritter. You could use whatever oil you choose though. You may like to do a mixture of butter and something else. Like I've got an Australian virgin olive oil that's infused with chili that I really love to put in this sort of thing, just to add a nice little extra bit of kick to my cooking. But you could use whichever oils you have available to you at the moment. You can see just on the edge there, it's gone a nice golden colour. Alrighty, let's get a try on this first one. All of those childhood memories just come flooding back. Ah, yes. This, what can I taste now? Okay, I've got the corn flavor coming through. It's crispy on the outside, it's soft and tender in the center, but it's cooked beautifully. It's such a simple recipe, it's slightly salty, and it just feels good in your belly. It's quite a comfort food. And I remember when I was a kid, I used to go around to my friend's place and her mum, knowing that she had at least 2 of her own children, plus any stragglers coming over, as we often did on a summer's day, and she would have these all ready to go, wrapped up in some paper towel, and she'd go, there you go, take your fritters and go, and we'd go, thanks, and we'd run off really quickly out to the domain, and we'd go and have fun out there and munch down on our corn fritters. So yum-o. I'm gonna go and enjoy this one now and set up for our next recipe. Okay, so this recipe is asking for 1 cup of vegetables, grated vegetables, and so I thought what I'll do is grab some of these mushrooms and just dice them up a little. Could be a really good way of, you know, getting some of those veggies into your kids if you've got kids that are a little bit picky, or even having this recipe could be quite good for expanding their palates slightly, because there is curry powder in here. Obviously you can leave the curry powder out if that's what you wish to do. Okay. And of course mushrooms like cook down to very little. I have a carrot here that has already been peeled, and I will just grate that up. A little bit of that, not all of it, because we only need 1 cup of veggies plus. Yep. And this, my dear friends, is what we call in New Zealand a courgette, but you might call it a zucchini. But either way, it's delicious. And if you're lucky, you're one of the people who can actually eat this raw. and it's very, very tasty in salads and things like that. I didn't even know that you could actually have that in a salad and eat it raw for a long, long time. I used to just think you only could have it cooked. But there you go, learn new things every day, don't you? Okay, that's probably about enough. We push that down. It's around about a cup. I don't think you need to be too pedantic, but if you start heading up towards 2 cups, then you probably will need to have double your mixture. Don't want any of that to go to waste. Here we go. Beautiful. Alright, so what we need is about 1/4 cup of grated onion. Now you guys know, onions, I love them and I loathe them. So what I'm going to do is, I don't really want to grate this, because when you grate onions, it doesn't matter if they're red onions, brown onions or white onions. When you grate it, you are breaking the little cells which hold the fumes that make you cry. And while this one has been stored in the fridge, so it's less likely to make me cry, it's the same thing. You've got to have a sharp knife to work with for the same reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do it really, really finely. You could probably pop it in a blender or a processor if you wanted to. We'll come back to that in a moment. 1/2 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of curry powder. You don't have to have the hot stuff if you don't want the hot stuff. We just happen to love the hot stuff in our house. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Sift all of that together. And now they want me to add the onion. Mix that in. And 1/2 cup of milk, mixed slowly, apparently. So let's just do them both. 1, 2. And the batter should resemble thick cream, which that looks like pretty thick cream to me. Maybe add just a tiny touch more. There's fluid in the zucchini, so I'm actually not going to worry about it. But we could put a tiny touch more milk in there if we wanted to. I'd like to welcome our latest team member. Ooh, isn't she pretty? Ooh, flashing lights. Ooh, flashing you. We're not that kind of channel. All right, she's all ready to go for the whisking of the egg white. So let's get that egg white in there. Hopefully I can do this without adding the egg yolk. Here we go. And I'm not going to waste that egg yolk. I'm actually going to just pop that straight in with the other ingredients. So what we want to do now is whisk this until it has stiff peaks, but they're not dry. Let's see how we're going. Okay, so how do you know if you've got stiff peaks? So what happens when you've got stiff peaks is that they will stay up. So those are almost stiff peaks. I'm going to finish this off with the manual whisk because I know that just having the one egg white in there is a bit of a challenge for my little new girl, but that was fun. The reason why I'm going to finish off with my hand is because look at that, there's still, I don't know if you can see, there we go, still fluid underneath. Here we go. Beautiful. So you see how it's holding its shape now? And it's holding its shape in the bowl as well. You can see that. Here it is. Okay, so that's a stiff peak. So next we mix into our batter all of our veggies. You can of course mix anything into this. You could mix capsicum, you could mix sweet potato, you could mix beetroot, you could mix pumpkin. You could probably mix in tomato if you wanted to. Just be aware that the tomato has a lot of extra juice in there. And now finally we will be adding our lovely egg white, which has been whipped, whisked even. And just like with the previous recipe, it's to be done very, very carefully. Just carefully fold that in so that you're not breaking up all of those bubbles. Up and over until combined. Just gently folding that in. But like muffins, you don't want to over mix it. Just enough till it's combined. Beautiful. And now let's get to cooking. I just had a thought while I was standing here watching these beautiful fritters cook, that I might actually add some salmon. I'm going to add a little bit of salmon. I'm going to drain it off and then I'm going to add it to the rest of this mix because I think that that is going to be quite tasty. And there's the salmon. Mix that in. Alright, my beautiful friends, here's the evidence of our efforts today. So over here, that's what's left of the sweet corn fritters. Over there is the plain vegetable fritters, and these ones through here are all of the ones that have salmon in them. Really looking forward to trying the salmon ones especially because that's a new one for me. So let's get to trying. Here we go. Isn't that a beautiful platter of food? Oh, how am I getting so lucky to have all of that for my dinner? Lucky it's not just me eating. So let's have a try of one of the vegetable ones, which is these ones here. Yes, just as delicious as they were yesterday. I actually really love the taste of that mushroom in there. It gives a bit more of a richer, full-bodied flavour than just the carrot and the zucchini. And while the carrot and zucchini on them by themselves is absolutely lovely, having that little bit of mushroom in there was really, really good idea. The curry in there is not too much. It's really, really not too much. Even in that extra hot one, the curry powder is just adds a little bit of flavour, but it's not too full on. Next, let's try one of those salmon ones. A little bit of a floppier mixture. As to be expected, the salmon certainly makes the mixture a little bit more moist, and that adds to the squishiness of the fritter. But you know what? That's a complete dinner, all on its own, just like that. That's fantastic. It's got vegetables, it's got carbs, it's got fish, it's got egg in there, so it's got plenty of protein in there, as well as being an easy sort of on the go kind of a meal. So I know you can have those fritters cold, so they're really, really great for road trips and things like that. So I hope this inspires you to get out there and play with some more recipes, maybe some from your childhood too, that you haven't used or eaten for a long time. Our parents certainly knew how to keep us fed quickly and easily. So thank you so much for watching my videos today. It means so much to me that you take the time to watch and enjoy and perhaps even be inspired a little bit. I'm very, very grateful for that. I hope that you have a fabulous day, whatever you get up to today, whether it's cooking, creating, just hanging out with your loved ones. It's all awesome. Be bold, be brave, be beautiful, my friends. Be you. And I hope to see you in the next video. Mwah.